The Gospel Story, Part 1, Creation. The Bible starts with God creating the heavens and the earth. It says, Genesis 1:1, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Now the earth was formless and empty, and darkness was over the surface of the deep, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the waters. And God said, let there be light. And there was light, and God saw the light was good, and he separated the light from the darkness. And God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And there was evening, and there was morning the first day. And it goes through the 7 days of creation. The last day, he said, then God said, let us make man in our image, in our likeness. Let them rule over the fish of the sea and the birds of the air, over the livestock, over all the earth, and over all the creatures that move along the ground. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God he created him. Male and female he created them. God blessed them and said to them, be fruitful and increase in number. Fill the earth and subdue it. Rule over the fish of the sea and the birds of the air and over every living creature that moves on the ground. Then God said, I give you every seed-bearing plant on the face of the earth, whole earth, and every tree that has fruit with it. They will be yours for food, and to all the beasts of the earth. And God saw all that he made, and it was very good. And there was evening and there was morning, the sixth day. Thus the heavens and the earth were completed in all their vast array. By the seventh day God had finished the work he had been doing, so on the seventh day he rested from all his work. And God blessed the seventh day and made it holy, because on it he rested from all the work of creating that he had done. So the main thing we want to just this gospel story here, I just want to go through the whole Bible kind of fast, just 2 to 4 minutes each. So as far as creation, whose story is this? Who wrote it? Who's the main character? Is man the main character, or is God? And as I've worked through this with some guys, a guys group that is a small discipleship group in my backyard around a fire pit every Thursday night. We were really hit by this. Like, this is not our story. We don't get to make up the rules and make up the. We don't get to define it. There's a definer who said, "Let there be light," and there was light, and let us make man in our own image. So we learn that there's a creator who created everything, who calls shots with his words that come out of his mouth. And then we also learn that he made man special. Man is in his image. And when he says to rule over, a lot of rabbis and pastors and teachers have extrapolated that it's a lot like to be good stewards of. It's a masterpiece creation. There's never an excuse for Christians to think that, or Jews to think that you are to crush the earth or to exploit it or just abuse it. It's a beautiful creation. God said it was good, and it should be stewarded wisely and carefully and with respect. And but God made man in his image. So this does bring up a huge thing about man, that humanity is special. We were given God's image, and it tells us something about ourselves, and it also tells us something about God. We can learn about who God is by how he made us, because we were made in his image. So from that you can wonder. God has emotions. God has the creative abilities of art and language and science. He created all physics. He created all math. It's the human mind that has the ability to explore a lot of these things that any other part of creation cannot. And so we know also that the other biggest point is that we were good. In the beginning we were good. That does change in the next section, the fall. But God created man good, and he created his whole creation was good, and everything was in harmony with him and with each other. And that was God's good intention. He put man in a garden. We'll see next week, or on the next section. So the main point of creation is that we are not we are not the author. We did not create all this. We have no authority of our words to create anything, to speak anything into existence. And we also learn that we are special to God. We have His image. We're made in His image.